What's up guys, I hope you're doing well. So if you weren't aware already, it looks like we are finally getting a new Alien movie coming out. The article here reads, new Alien movie in the works with Don't Breathe filmmaker Fede Alvarez. Ridley Scott, who directed the very first Alien movie in 1979, will produce. So I haven't seen Don't Breathe myself, but I think it is a horror thriller kind of movie, so that might be a good sign so far, but I've not seen that myself, so I can't really comment. It continues, the filmmaker behind Don't Breathe and 2013's remake of Evil Dead has been tapped to write and direct an original standalone Alien feature for 20th Century Studios. Ridley Scott, who directed the original sci-fi horror movie, released in 1979 and returned for two 21st Century installments, will produce via his Scott-free banner. The project is intended to be made for Hulu, so if you're outside of America like me, I would wager that that would be on Star, like the Prey movie is going to be on. As part of 20th Century's ambitions to make more than 10 movies a year for the Disney-operated streaming service. Alien and its many sequels and prequels focus on the horror of a ferocious race of alien beings called xenomorphs, who implant eggs inside living bodies via facehuggers that violently burst out of chests when they reach a certain stage of maturity. We all know that. Dan O'Bannon wrote the first movie, which played out like a contained horror story about the doomed crew of cargo spaceship Nostromo. So yeah, hopefully they might return to that, which is what I'd like to see. Kind of go back to its roots a little bit. That's what I'd like to see personally. So I hope it might go back to being a bit more scary than the later films. The survivor Ripley and the actress who played her, Sigourney Weaver, became the human face of the Fox franchise when James Cameron directed a sequel, Aliens, in 1986, developing it into an action movie that became a massive cultural hit. I think I would prefer it to be a bit more like the first movie than the second movie, because I think nowadays, I think that'd be a bit harder for them to pull off. But I think if they made it kind of like more contained and claustrophobic horror, I think that might be a bit, yeah. Two more movies with Weaver followed in the 90s, while crossover with Fox's other sci-fi franchise Predator, sans Weaver carried the xenomorphs into the 2000s. Scott returned to his co-creations with prequels Prometheus and ambitious and theologically minded film released in 2012 and 2017's Alien Covenant, both attempted to tell the origins of the species. So yeah, it looks like I was right. I think I said it a couple of times before. I've said I didn't think we would be getting Alien Awakening, which was going to be the third in the Prometheus trilogy, which is kind of a shame because I did like Prometheus, but I didn't like Alien Covenant, so I was kind of hoping the third one might get it back on track, but yeah, it looks like I was right. We're probably not getting that now. Alvarez's take is being kept deep inside the studio's chest cavity. Cringy pun. But sources describe it as unconnected to the previous movies. So it looks like there's not going to be any returning actors or anything, which I'm fine with. I think I don't think they should have David or Ripley or anything like that in it. According to sources, Alvarez is a rabid fan of the franchise and casually pitched a take to Scott many years ago. The idea remained implanted in Scott's brain until late last year when he called Alvarez out of the blue and asked him if he was still up for it. Alvarez didn't have to be asked twice. 20th Century picked up the project purely off the strength of Fede's pitch and Division President Steve Asbell. It was just a really good story with a bunch of characters you haven't seen before. Asbel, who recently spoke to THR about the future of 20th Century Studios, said by doing the project for Hulu, there wouldn't be the pressure to whittle down the potential edginess that could come with theatrical considerations. It's not a film that has to be all things to all people with those gargantuan budgets. They get to be authentically what they are, and this is closer to its genre roots. So, it's coming out on streaming but not the cinema, which could be a good or a bad thing, because like it's kind of saying it said there wouldn't be the pressure to whittle down the potential edginess that could come with a theatrical release, so meaning they won't have to tone down the blood and violence, which could be a good thing. But on the other hand, if it's not in the cinema, it could have that kind of cheap, half-assed, like direct to DVD kind of feel to it. So I don't know. I think we'll have to wait and see about that. Some direct to streaming films have been quite good though. Like what was the Breaking Bad movie called? El Camino, I think. That was a good film. Alvarez is certainly a filmmaker who loves his genre work. He has gained a following for his unsparing horror projects, including writing and directing the Evil Dead remake, and co-writing and produces Netflix's remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, doesn't exactly fill you with confidence, does it? He found commercial and critical success with the thriller Don't Breathe, a story he co-wrote and directed. Breathe engendered a sequel that was released in 2021. Alvarez is repped by WME and Jackaway Austin. Right, yeah, so what do you all think about that? I have very low expectations, but I am open to hopefully it being good. What I want to see is I'd like to see kind of dial it back, because like Prometheus and Covenant were kind of exploring it kind of deeper, but I'd like to see kind of reel it back in a bit and have a more isolated, sort of grounded story, if that makes sense. But let me know what you think about this news. Are you looking forward to it? Do you have any hopes it'll be good, or do you think it'll just be trash? So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're interested in more alien videos, why not check out my playlist, which I have for you now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.